appearances because we're going out to the public. All right. Today's date is August 30th, 2022. In Crosby County, Texas, I call cause number 8002 in the interest of the Rendon children. What says the stake?
Ready to announce an agreement, Your Honor.
All right. Present by telephone is Jana Rendon. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes.
Also present by telephone is Rinaldo Rendon. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
All right. Listen carefully, Mr. Bunacek. Go ahead and announce what you and your understanding of the agreement.
All right, Your Honor, I've consulted with both parties and they've arrived at the following agreement. First, I'll say up front, Ms. Rendon has signed a document asking that the FBI marker be removed from her case. She does not want a non-disclosure order. There is not a previous non-disclosure order. And so we ask that there not be a non-disclosure on this case.
Okay.
As to the arrears, Ms. Rendon wishes to release as much of the arrears as she can. That means that as of the 29th of August, 2022, there were child support arrears in the amount of $4,311.32. She wishes to release all, leaving a final judgment of $0. There were medical support arrears. She wishes to release $84.12, which is her portion of it, which leaves a final judgment of $910.76. That is also as of August 29th, 2022. They have agreed to a deviation from the guideline child support. The support will be $867 per month, beginning September 1st, 2022. The step downs on that for the 3 children are $723 and $578. The children are on Medicaid, and Mr. Rendon will pay $75 per month for the Medicaid. He will also pay $50 a month toward the medical support arrears that remain. And Mr. Rendon will also pay the court costs as billed within 1 year.
I'm going to waive the court costs, Mr. Bunacek, since these parties worked for an agreement and were so patient and waiting for us. So, Mr. Rendon, you don't have to pay any court costs. All right. Jana Rendon, is this in fact the agreement you're making today?
Yes, it is.
And you think it's in the best interest of your children?
Yes, it is.
And no one forced you to give up those arrears or pressured you to do that, did they?
No, ma'am.
You're doing it of your own free will.
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand you can't get those back.
Yes, ma'am. I understand.
All right. Mr. Rendon, is that in fact what you're agreeing to today? Reynaldo? Mr. Rendon? Reynaldo?
Thought I heard him there.
Reynaldo, are you there?
I am.
Is
Can you
that
hear me?
Is that what you're agreeing to today?
Yes, Your Honor.
And you think it's good for your children?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then I'm approving that agreement. Mr. Bunacek's going to get that order to me and I will sign it. There is a 3 business days during which you can request a new hearing. If anybody does that, you get a new hearing in front of the district judge, and that judge would start over and make his own decision. But if nobody does that, this order starts to become final, and you'll get a copy in the mail or by email within about 2 weeks, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you both so much today for all your patience. Good luck to you and your families.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Trying to find a better place to put my phone. There's just not a good view to set it up for no matter what. So I guess that'll work.
Who's calling in, please, from area code 806, and their phone number ends with 680? Can you hear me?
Is it
Yes.
1680?
Yes.
Yes, that's me, Tara Kennedy.
All right, Miss Kennedy, thank you. I must have lost you for just a moment.
And did the other party on that case show up, Your Honor?
No, he was trying to get in, but he didn't. We have not heard from him. And Ms. Kennedy actually drove all the way to the courthouse.
Oh, gosh.
Want to visit with her quickly?
Yes, please.
All right, Miss Kennedy, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Bunacek, room 1.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Zachary just messaged me, and he had called the number, and it says that he cannot connect to the call for some reason.
Okay. Mr. Zachary Castillo is
Oh,
trying to get in and join us.
okay. I sent one of the numbers was wrong. I had mistyped it.
Okay, let's try that.
Okay.
Okay, let me
And-
get,
And Ms. Eaton has sent me a couple of other agreements to announce, Judge.
I'm bringing up Mr. Linden and Ms. Winstead.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for your patience, Ms. Winstead and Mr. Linden. Let's see if I can get him out here. We've had terrible computer issues today. Let me go into Mr. Linden's breakout room and see if I can get him.
Okay.
I don't know how good it'll be to go into breakout rooms because how will we get out?
Ms. Eaton, what can I do for you?
Judge, if you can tell me what rooms Mr. Saavedra and Miss Garcia are in, I believe I can go back and forth. I just can't see their names in there.
Okay, Garcia is 6, Saavedra is 7.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Winstead and Mr. Linden. We've had a great deal of difficulty with our computer connection today. Mr. Bunacek is going to announce your agreement. I've got a recording turned on, and I've also turned on my YouTube channel. So we are live to the public. Do not give out confidential information like phone numbers or addresses, okay? Today's date is August 30th, 2021. In Crosby County, Texas, I call cause number 8414 in the interest of Tyler Lee Linden. What says the state?
Ready to announce an agreement, Your Honor.
All right, present by audio, by telephone is Joanne Winstead. Are you ready, Ms. Winstead?
Yes, ma'am.
Also present by audio and video is Gary Linden. Are you ready, Mr. Linden? I need you to unmute, Mr. Linden. There we go. Mr. Linden, are you ready to proceed? I need you, sir, to unmute again. Sir, I just need you to unmute your sound. Mr. Linden, if you can hear me, I need you to unmute your sound.
Mm,
There we go. Mr. Linden, are you ready to proceed? Oh, we're muted again. I do not know what is happening.
Don't know. He did have, I think, another party in there helping him earlier. Can you ask if maybe that person can come in and help him again?
I think he can hear us. Do you need someone to help you, Mr. Linden? Unmute the, you're fine without a picture, but I need you to have some sound. Can you unmute your phone or your? There we go. Can you hear me now? Mr. Muted again.
Huh. There we go. It looks like I can see you, Mr. Linden. Can you hear
There
us?
we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Mr. Linden, hooray.
Thank
All
you.
right. Are you ready to proceed, Mr. Linden?
Very much, ma'am.
We've all had computer problems this morning. Thank you both for your patience. All right, Mr. Bunacek, would you go ahead and announce the agreement, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Eaton has consulted with both parties and they have arrived at the following agreement. First, as to the arrears, as of yesterday, that is August 29th, 2022, there were $8,287.15 in child support arrears. Ms. Winstead wishes to release the entire amount. That leaves a final judgment as of yesterday's date of $0 in the child support. Going forward, Mr. Linden's gross monthly income includes $1,270 a month from SSA and $24.26 and 67 cents from his employer. The child is receiving or is on a government medical plan. Mr. Linden will pay $45 per month beginning September 1st, 2022 for that medical plan. Based then on his net monthly income, we've arrived at a guideline support amount for one child, no other children of $632, and he will pay that beginning September 1st, 2022.
All right, and I'm waiving court costs since these parties have been so patient today and worked so hard to reach an agreement. Ms. Winstead, is that in fact what you're agreeing to today?
yes, ma'am.
Has anybody pressured you or tried to convince you to release those arrears?
No, ma'am.
You're doing it of your own free will,
Yes, ma'am.
and you understand you can't get them back.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And is this agreement good for Tyler?
I think so. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Winstead. Mr. Linden, is this in
Yes,
fact the agreement you're making today?
It's good. I bless her heart for
And you also think it's it's in the best interest of Tyler?
yes, ma'am. I can't wait to see him this weekend.
All right. Then I'm approving the agreement, and Mr. Bunacek is going to prepare an order for my signature and I'll sign off on it. There is a period of 3 business days during which anybody can request a new hearing. If you do that, you get a new hearing in front of the district judge and that judge would start over. But if nobody does that, this agreement and order from today starts to become final, and you should get a copy by email or regular mail within the next 2 weeks. If you don't, call the Lubbock Rural Office of the AG and just remind them to send you one. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you both so much today. Good luck to you and to Tyler and all both of your families.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
thank
And
you.
God bless y'all too. Thank
All
you.
right, and we're done. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Who's calling in from area code 806 and their phone number ends with 209? Is that Mr. Castillo?
I believe,
Ms. Kennedy, do you think is it Mr. Well, no, we've got somebody else coming in.
No, this is me, Mr. Castillo.
Okay, your phone number ends with 209.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Castillo, thank you for coming today at the last notice, but it's good. You're here and we're glad. All right, Mr. Castillo and Ms. Kennedy, in just a moment, I'm going to get you two together so you can see what the AG wants to do on your case. I have somebody else coming in to visit as well. Mr. Linden, I'm going to help you sign off. There we go. All right. Who's calling in, please? Whose phone number ends in 664? Who just called in, please? Your phone number ends in 664.
It's Danielle Bibb. My phone keeps dropping signal.
All right, this is Miss Bibb.
Okay. That'll be good, Your Honor. Ms. Eaton has forwarded the information to me about the Hernandez and Bibb agreement. So I
Okay.
can announce that if we bring in both parties.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Ms. Bibb. Your persistence has been great. All right, let me see if I can get, okay, Ms. Eaton's still working with another party. Let's get this announced and then I'll let you, Mr. Bunacek, talk to Mr. Castillo and Ms. Kennedy, okay?
Okay.
Okay. Let me bring out Mr. Hernandez.
Okay.
All right. All right. Mr. Bunacek, are you ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
Right. Present by telephone is Danielle Bibb. Are you ready to proceed, Ms. Bibb?
Yes, ma'am.
Also present by audio and video is Tommy Hernandez. Are you ready, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, if you'd listen carefully, Mr. Bunacek's going to announce what he believes your agreement is. Go ahead, Mr. Bunacek.
All right, Your Honor, Ms. Eaton has consulted with the parties and they've arrived at the following agreement. First, as to the FBI marker on the case, Ms. Bibb requests that it be removed. She says that there is no need for a non-disclosure order in this case.
Okay,
It is agreed that Mr. Hernandez is the father of all of the children. That includes the older 6 who have signed acknowledgements of paternity on them and the younger 2, Ashlyn and Leah. It is agreed that he is their father as well, and we asked for a finding that paternity is established in that case. The parties have agreed to be named joint managing conservators, with Ms. Bibb having the right to determine the residence of the children. They have agreed that no possession and access orders are necessary. They have been together for 18 years and don't need it. They have also agreed to no child support. Mr. Hernandez is providing direct support as needed. 8 children on the order, no others, no other children. There is no surname change and no retroactive child support. The children are on a government medical plan, and so Mr. Hernandez will pay $45 per month beginning September 1st, 2022. And the court costs as billed, although I think with the difficulties, Your Honor might have some good news on that count. And that is the agreement, Your Honor.
all right. I'm waiving any court costs. That means, Mr. Hernandez, you do not have to pay any court cost. You and Ms. Bibb have worked so hard today and put up with a lot of computer issues. So we're going to take away those court costs. All right,
Okay.
Ms.
Thank-
Bibb, is that in fact the agreement you're making today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you think it's in the best interest of your children?
I do, yes.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, is that what you're agreeing to today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you also think it's good for your kids?
I do as well.
Great. Then I'm approving that agreement. Mr. Bunacek's going to prepare an order and I will sign off on it. There is a period of 3 business days during which you can request a new hearing. If you do that, you get a brand new hearing in front of the district judge. But if nobody does that, today's order starts to become final, and you should get a copy within about 2 weeks, either by email or by regular mail. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
Good luck to you and your family. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
You too.
All right. Mr. Hernandez, I'll help you get out of here. There we go. Have a good day, sir. All right. We have. How are we doing, Ms. Eaton?
I have an agreement I'm typing up for Jason real quick to put on the record on Saavedra.
Okay. And we also have both parties here on the last case for today. We have Mr. Castillo and Ms. Kennedy.
Okay, I can take that one as soon as I send this to Jason.
Super. Ms. Kennedy, I'm going to move you. Well, let's see where you are. What happened to Ms. Kennedy? We may have lost Ms. Kennedy. Mr. Castillo, I'm going to move you to breakout room 1.
Okay.
You'll be there by yourself, and then Ms. Eaton will join you. And Ms. Kennedy, we lost, but I bet you she'll be back in just a second.
So Zoom today.
It's the way today is going. I'm bringing out Ms. Garcia and Mr. Saavedra.
Okay, I believe I got it all in there, Jason. I just hit send.
Okay. Agreement.
Ms. Garcia, thank you so much. Let's get, is that Ms. Kennedy?
Yes, ma'am. I was disconnected.
I know, it's the way everything's been going today. And Ms. Kennedy, I'm going to put you into a breakout room. And
Yes, ma'am.
and Ms. Eaton from the AG's office will be there shortly, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, let's rename. I'm so glad you called back.
Me too. Yes, ma'am.
All right, and I'm moving you to breakout room 2. And Mr. Castillo is in breakout room 1.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Saavedra and Ms. Garcia. Mr. Bunacek is here from the AG's office, and he's going to announce your agreement. I need you both to unmute because at the end of this, I'm going to ask you some questions. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Bunacek. We are recording.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Eaton has had an opportunity to consult with both parties, and they have arrived at the following agreement. Mr. Saavedra is the father of Joanna, as established by the acknowledgement of paternity that he signed, and so we would ask for a court finding that he is the father of Joanna. The parties have agreed that to have a non-disclosure order keeping Ms. Garcia's information confidential from the order. They have agreed to be named joint managing conservators of Joanna, with Ms. Garcia having the right to determine the residence. They will have a modified possession and access order by agreement. Mr. Saavedra will have 2 weekends every week for 2 hours each, followed by 1 weekend day each week for 3 hours. It's going to vary depending on his work schedule. And after the child turns 1 year old, visitation will happen every Friday from 6 p.m. Friday to Saturday at 6 p.m. The child is on Medicaid. Mr. Saavedra will pay $70 per month for the Medicaid beginning September 1st, 2022. And based on his gross monthly income, that is, of $2,063.67, one child in this order, no other children. I'm sorry, they've agreed to a deviation from the guidelines. He will pay $0 in child support. He is providing direct support for the child. There is no retroactive child support requested, and the court costs will
I'm going to
be
waive
at the court's
court
discretion,
costs.
Your Honor. And that is the total of the agreement.
All right, I'm waiving court costs, so you don't have to pay those, Mr. Saavedra. All right, Ms. Garcia, is that in fact the agreement that you're making?
Yes, ma'am.
And you think it's in Joanna's best interest?
Yes, ma'am.
And I am granting the non-disclosure. Are you sure that you're not wanting child support set right now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Mr. Saavedra, is that in fact what you're agreeing to today?
Yes, ma'am.
And you think it's in the best interest of your daughter, Joanna?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then I'm approving your agreement. Mr. Bunacek will prepare that order for my signature and I'll sign off on it. There is a period of 3 business days during which anybody could change your mind and ask for a new hearing. If you do file for a new hearing, you get a new hearing in front of the district judge, and he'd start over and make his own decision. But if nobody does that, this order and agreement from today starts to become final, and you'll get a copy either by email or by regular mail within about 2 weeks. If you don't get one, call the Lubbock Rural AG's office and just remind them to send you one, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you both. Thank you, Mr. Saavedra, and thank you, Ms. Garcia, for your patience.
I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
How would I make the Medicaid payment? Does that come direct out of my check or?
It will come directly out of your check. It may not for
Alright.
about 2 weeks or so, or 3 weeks. But if you need to pay it yourself, it will go through, you have to mail it through San Antonio. And in the middle of this big order, you will find that there is an address for San Antonio in there. And that's where it has to go. But yes, it will come out of your check.
Alrighty.
Also,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Saavedra, if you go online, there is an online child support portal that gives you a few options of different ways to pay, where you can pay online or even, you can make a payment through Walmart. There's a number of ways. But
How fancy. I didn't know that.
try to make it convenient for folks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Saavedra. Good luck to you and Joanna and Ms. Garcia. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Y'all have a wonderful day.
You too, sir. Bye-bye.
Have a good day, sir.